Hello everyone, my name is Kashyap Shah and welcome to my new channel which is called as CricAI. I am very much excited to share my first video and I welcome all of you with an open heart. So, what is this channel about? This channel is about one thing which is seeing and visualizing the cricket in the way it should be visualized in the current era. Yes, I by visualizing and by seeing cricket, I mean through data and through AI. We all know that AI is currently a habit and it is inculcated in everyone's day-to-day life. So why not cricket, which is the greatest sport of of our country? Now through data, through AI, I means like there would be no biasness, just numbers telling the truth. This is my first video, and I'm starting with something very much exciting and very much new to study the game of cricket. Now, what if I told you that the IPL 2026 winner was almost decided after the just first 24 games? Yeah, and it is not by just any random luck or random prediction or by any form or not even by any team selection. It is just because of the data which we get. Every run, every wicket, every power play over, every death over, the numbers were telling the story long before the trophy was lifted. And today, I would like to read the story with all of you. CricAI is not any just an ordinary channel where we just do the random analytics and we talk about the game. Yes, we do talk about the game. We gather different opinions of people. But in the current modern era, everything needs to be analyzed and everything needs to be visualized in a particular way. And with the growing technology and AI, it is more important to read the game and to gain particular specific insights which can help a player or a team to develop its decision making. So analytics is all about the improvement in the decision making which we make on the field, off the field, and etc. So this is my, as you can see, I have prepared a few dashboards on Power BI. I must be assuming that you all of you must be knowing about the Power BI. It is a visualizing tool which we use to analyze the data and to gain some powerful insights from that data. Every IT company or every nowadays every company uses this tool to analyze the particular data and to get the particular insights. So as you can see, I am hovering over the particular dashboard so that you can see IPL overview. We will be starting from IPL because it is the recent tournament which got completed. So I thought like, why not starting from IPL? So you can see that there are different dashboards which I have built. You can see IPL overview, then you can see team analysis, then you can then I have prepared the two finalists, which is Royal Challengers Bangalore and the Gujarat Titans. We will deep dive into both of the teams. What were the strengths? What decisions made them separate apart from the rest of the eight teams? So we will go deep dive and into each and every team. Now, let us start with the IPL overview. Before we talk about any player or any team, let us understand what kind of season was this years of the IPL, which is 2026. I think it was a beast season and it really, what we can say, exploded the idea of power hitting and the modern T20 league. So I analyzed actually 24 matches ball by ball and there was something about 2,83,000 data points and I captured every single delivery. And here is I have prepared the four KPI. KPI means key performance indicator cards, which you can see here, like chase win percentage, maximum first inning run score, total matches which I have analyzed and visualized, and what was the average first inning score in this year's IPL season. Now you can see that 58% was the win percentage the team which was chasing. So more than half of a percentage was win by the team who were chasing. 250 was the highest inning average first inning score, and 184 was the average first inning score. So it means that if the teams which were not scoring close to 184, they were already behind before the opponents even picked up the bat. So this was not a season for defensive cricket. Nowadays, we all know that the concept and the ruthlessness of the T20 cricket has changed. The batsmen are going from the ball one, and even due to the impact player rule of this year IPL. But even if you remove the impact player, the teams and the batsmen are going from the ball one, and they are charging at every ball. So there were no place where bowlers can hide. But here is where it gets really interesting. As I discussed earlier, 58% of the matches were won by the team batting second. So think about that, more than half of the matches chasing team wins. But what does that tell you? It tells you that in modern T20 cricket, knowing your target is a superpower. Because in the first innings, you are not really much sure that how much runs on the board are enough to put opposition on the pressure. So now let's start with the visualizing of the charts which I have made. So you can see I have made different charts where we are going to discuss about it in thoroughly way, and we would try to gain some insights from each chart which I have made. And trust me, by this way, the teams and the analyst which every team has nowadays, it helps the team in improve the decision making drastically. Because with the help of modern AI tools and the data, whichever team which does not use this are already two steps behind. So let us start with the high scoring venues of the 2026. So let me just expand it and get into focus mode. Yeah. So as you can see that we have first Wankhede Stadium. We all know that traditionally Wankhede Stadium is a high scoring venue. And as you can see in this year, 220 runs was the average first inning score, or the average score of I should ratherly I should say it, is the score which Wankhede Stadium is. Now then second we have Narendra Modi Stadium, which is 210. Then we have M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, which is 204. Then we have Royal Challengers Bangalore Stadium, which is M. Chinnaswamy. It is having 199. So different venues I have calculated average first inning runs. Now you will ask me that Ahmedabad was a really low scoring venue this season. Yes, you are correct. Because they made the pitches and they made their in the way which suited their bowlers, as GT was a bowling dominant team. So why I showed this chart to you? It was just to tell you that venue is not just any location of the cricket. It is a tactical weapon which every team uses to win the IPL. Now, traditionally, you must be seeing that Chennai Super Kings, Chennai, the traditional before 2022, I should say. Chennai used to have very slow pitches because it suited them very well. So we can see that the home percentage win of Chennai Super Kings was very high, as they would play two to three spinners in the team. So it is very important to understand that the team selection should be based on the venue, and the team balance should be made according to that. Like for example, Chinnaswamy and Wankhede, these are high scoring venues. So you need good bowlers which could help you to defend a big total because on the flat track and on a small ground, the run scoring is a little bit easy. Now let us see the impact of toss in this IPL. So as I have already said you that the team which were fielding first, they were heavily favorites to win the match. And I also have prepared a small bar chart to show you how the toss impacted in this year's IPL. Now there is something called Powerplay versus death strike rate by the team. Now you can see this is a beautiful chart which is depicting what was the average power play strike rate and average death strike rate. Usually nowadays the matches are generally decided in the first 6 overs of power play. Yeah. Now you can see RCB they were striking at the 233 strike rate in the death overs and 163 in the power play overs. So this is a massive boost up for them as they were charging from the very first ball and with the finishers they were striking at the 233 strike rate in the death overs. Then we have Punjab Kings. Again, they have a huge massive strike rate in the power play and as well as in the death overs. Similarly, we have MI, SRH, KKR, DC, CSK, RR, LSG and GT. So, what are these numbers saying? What is the insights which we can take out from this? Scoring in the power play, which is in the first 6 overs, is very crucial nowadays in the modern T20 league because the game is pretty much set. The tone of the game is pretty much set in the first 6 overs, which is why many teams wouldn't get a good strike rate or a good power play. That teams were majorly struggling in this year's IPL. Now, these are different filters which I have made, and you can check according to different filters. Like if you want to check at the Eden Gardens, what was the stat? What was the toss decision impact? What was the highest scoring venue? What was the power play in the Eden Garden score? You can see that accordingly. So these are different filters which I have made. Based on the winners also you can see that the team which was winning, like for example Gujarat Titans, what did they do? What were the higher scoring venues? What did they choose when they won the toss? So you can filter it out accordingly. Secondly, nowadays in we are very heavily reliant on the data in the modern AI tools. So it is very much important to gain a clean state of record because data may be impure. So you need to clean your data very much to get a particular insights from it. Like if I can show you my data. So here it is my data. I have prepared different types of data which I have taken into the Power BI to visualize and analyze it. And I have also different sources where I was able to get this data. Like for example, Kaggle by watching the game live and then noting it down. Then we have IPL dataset. So there are different sources where I collected and gathered the data and then I clean that data so that can gain I can gain and I can get a particular requireful insights from it. So it is very much important to clean your data. Okay, now let us go to the section 2 or to the another page which is team analysis. I think this is a fantastic visualizing chart because it pretty much sums up the IPL, this year's IPL. How? If you can see, this chart is about death over strike rate. Who finished strongest? RCB strike rate of healthy strike rate of 233. Punjab Kings 190. MI 173. SRH 167. Now you must be asking the question to me that Kashyap, Punjab Kings was not even in the top four. But as I said you, there is the data of first 24 matches of the IPL, and Punjab Kings in the first half were just outstanding. Like everything was working for them. But we will also come to the point why they failed to get in the top four spots. Yeah, there is also strong data and AI reasoning behind it. So yeah, this was a chart of it. Now we have bowling economy. Yeah, everyone used to say that batsmen wins you matches and the bowlers win you tournament. Yeah. So in the case of LSG, overall bowling economy was 8.8. So we can see from the data and we can see here from the visualized bar chart that the Lucknow was having the best bowling combination in the whole tournament. But still, they struggled thoroughly badly in this year's IPL, and not only in this year's IPL, also in the previous IPL. So what I am trying to imply is that yeah, bowlers do win the tournament, but a perfect combination, yes, you heard me right. A perfect combination of both batting and bowling wins the tournament. We also have seen the case of Gujarat Titans. Gujarat Titans were heavily rely on the four seamers which were doing apparently very good in the whole tournament. But eventually, RCB win the tournament because they were having a perfect balance of bowling, batting, finishers, everything. So, in the case of Gujarat Titans, they were heavily reliable on the top three and for the batting. So, according to me, in this current modern era, you just cannot rely on the top three batters to win the tournament. Yeah, on the good day, they can win you some good knockout matches. But to win a tournament like IPL or any multinational bilateral tournament, having a perfect combination is a key. Okay. In the case of LSG, you can see that they bowled pretty much very well, but the batters just couldn't go. They found the combination very lately in the tournament. In the case of, you can see RCB, Punjab, RR, these all are in the midways, but still, due to their overall good combination, they were fairly part different away from the other eight teams. So this is a very important insight which you can see that only packing a particular department or only packing a particular position doesn't guarantee you to win a tournament. Like for example, अगर मैं अपनी bowling या batting लेवल हो जाता हूँ तो उससे वो गारंटी नहीं है कि हम टूर्नामेंट जीत जाएंगे. You need to have a solid combination to win the tournament. So this was personally for me, this was a very insightful information which every team would be using it to improve their decision making. I would also like to talk about KKR. We all know that KKR in the first seven matches just couldn't find the momentum and was not able to win any of the matches. Even the 1 point which they gained, was due to the washout between the Punjab Kings and the KKR. So why KKR struggled in the first half of the season? Because they were not able to find the right momentum due to their injuries, due to their lack of form of the captain, which was Ajinkya Rahane. I personally very much like Ajinkya Rahane, but in this modern T20 era where the batsmen are charging from the ball one, it is very much important that you have all the six players which can go from ball one, and also the lack of form of Finn Allen and the other New Zealand Metro team Seifert. These all things caused them very much in the first half of the tournament. There is only one player which kept their hopes alive was Sunil Narayan, which was having a tremendous tournament in the IPL 26. And in the second half, when the players like Ankrich Raghuvanshi, Finn Allen, when they found their form, KKR started to gain their momentum. Which in opposite, Punjab Kings, who did very much pretty well in the first half, didn't do well enough in the second half. We will get to that. We'll get to that. But this is just an overview which I wanted to give you that how the things are working currently in the cricket or in any sport which you take football, tennis, table tennis, long tennis, baseball, basketball. Every teams are having their own analyst, and this analyst, their only job is to give a player or a coach or a team particular insight which could help them to improve their decision making and to improve their game. Yes, cricket, we all know that cricket is a special sport in our country. Everyone has their opinions, everyone has their understanding of the game. But using all these tools, all this data, it is now time we change the perspective of the thinking of the game. There is a term called data science. Yeah, you heard me right, data science. This particular field is now coming into the every industry. You call it IT industry, you call it banking industry, you call sport industry, because it is having a power to influence the decision in the correct way and with the accuracy of 90%. So it is giving you a better results than the traditional ways. So it is very much important to adopt with the latest tools and technology. हम बोलते हैं ना आईटी इंडस्ट्री में कि अगर आप एआई को अपनाओगे नहीं, अगर आप एआई को अपना एक अपने डेली लाइफ में अगर आप उसको इंकलकेट नहीं कर पाओगे तो यू विल बी लेड ऑफ और यू विल बी वेरी मच behind from the others. Same is the case in the case of sporting industry. In cricket or in any field of sport, if you're not able to analyze or if you're not able to adopt the latest tools and technologies, then there is a very, very high chance you will not be able to gain a particular outcome and you will not be able to reach a particular level. So now moving to the next section, which is very important, which is the deep dive of RCB. Now let us talk about Royal Challengers Bangalore because their numbers are not just good; they are historically remarkable. Start with the batting. If you can see the batting strike rate of the RCB, which is the best of the teams, you can see the clearly difference: 180, 174, 168, 163, 149, 148. So, and these are not just the decent strike rate; these are the healthy strike rates, which you can see. So, we could first of all, we were obsessed with the numbers. Like he scored 70 runs, he scored 80 runs. But somehow we were not targeting the impact which the particular players were showing. Like, for example, sometimes a quick 30, a quick 40 in 15, 20 balls is much more better than the 80 runs in 50 or 55 balls. It depends on the situation and it depends on the what the team requires. And none other than Virat Kohli. I cannot think any other name than Virat Kohli, who is so adaptable and who reads the situation very, very well. And from the last 3 years, 24 season, 25 season, 26 season, if you could just analyze his data and his innings, he has drastically changed his strike rate. This year, his strike rate was nearly about 165 with a season of 765 runs. Can you imagine that? Yeah. So, and in the chasing, we all know that he is a chase master. So, what makes him a good chase master? Because he really, really understands and reads the situation pretty well. He knows when to show the aggression, when to calm down, when to just rotate the strike. Singles are also a very, very important aspect in the T20. Yeah, because the team which plays the Lowest dot balls are the teams which end up in getting a good score. I would like to showcase you an example of Rajat Patidar innings of the qualifier one, which he played against GT. Do you know how much dot balls he played in that innings? It was just one dot ball, and that was also of a leg by. So eventually, he did not play a single dot ball in his whole innings. So that is kind of an impact which allows the particular team to win a tournament. What an inning was that of Rajat Patidar. Yeah. Now come to the dashboard. You can see that average bowling economy of RCB was 11, which I would say is not pretty good and not pretty bad because in the current era, this economy is acceptable. In the first 24 matches, they already took 39 wickets as a collective group. Now, I would like to talk about Rashid Dar Salam. Rashid Dar Salam is a one boy which replaced the Yash Dayal, which was doing pretty much good for RCB. But that young lad come to this team and he proved that why RCB chose him. So he pretty well mixed up with Bowie and Hazelwood, and he also contributed crucially in that RCB bowling attack. And we all know that Bowie is Bowie, like the experience which he brings up to this team and the quality which he has. Like it was just an extraordinary team, a single player effort which helped eventually RCB to win the tournament. With whether it could be with bat, with the ball, I think Bhuvi contributed in all the departments. Now, which the one more stat which I wanted to show you is the home versus away batting performance. We all know that five matches were in Chinnaswamy this year, the two games were in Raipur. So I have not collected the stats of Raipur because the sample size was pretty much less. Let's talk about Chinnaswamy. RCB batting strike rate in Chinnaswamy was 322 in the death overs. Can you imagine that? These small things are pretty much important to win the particular game or tournament. And they were also striking with a healthy strike rate of 187 in the away venue. So you can see that RCB in the 2 years from the mega auction made a complete team which were striking both at their home as well as in the away venues. Then we have what we can say RCB batting attack and the RCB bowlers who contributed most in the wickets. You can see which I can name Rashid Salam. He was bowling at the economy of 7. Then we have Josh Hazelwood 8.4, Suyash Sharma 8. Remember guys, these are the data of just the first 24 matches. Then we have Bhuvi. Then we have Kunal Pandya, another match winner, just bowling at the 9.3. Then Duffy, Shefford, and the other bowlers. So this visualized and this insight is also pretty much useful because we can see that wickets are not just come by bowling good deliveries. Sometimes a good 2 over spell from another bowler can eventually get you a wicket for another bowler. Like for example, Bowie and Hazelwood bowling good 2 overs may eventually get Rashid Salam a good wicket. So these all are the stats and insights which are pretty much important in current era. Like who bowled in which areas, what are the areas to bowl to a particular batsman. We also get to that. Now, what are the top run scorers in the IPL 2026? As usual, Virat Kohli with the runs of 228. Then we have Henrik Klassen, we have Patida, we have Ishan Kishan, we have Prabh Singh, and the list goes on. Now, if you see that what level of consistency this man Virat Kohli is showing in every season, he is the first player to score 600 plus runs in for consecutive of 4 years. 23, 24, 25, 26. And he's eventually improving his strike rate in every season he comes to. So this is just an impeccable record from him. And I'm also pretty much impressed with Henrik Klassen this year, with the amount of consistency he was showing and the runs and the strike rate which he was scoring was also a pretty much tremendous task to do from his side. So now let me come to the most important point. Why RCB win? And why I'm saying that in the first 24 matches itself, we almost got our winner, which is RCB. The different dashboards which I showed to you, these are the evidences and a strong enough proof that from the day one, RCB was the team which was clinical in all the departments. They had a perfect team. They were not over reliable. Yeah, they were not over reliable on a just one particular person. In this year, Jitesh Sharma, Romario Shepherd, even I would say Team David. These were the guys who were not having a great season as compared to last season. But still, guys like Virat Kohli, guys like Phil Salt, guys like Venkatesh Iyer, which is Venkatesh Iyer is the person who created an impact whenever he get a chance, whenever he got a chance. Then our captain Rajat Patida, Devdutt Padikkal, this they all contributed in a way which eventually led them to win the IPL. And in the bowling department, we have Kunal Pandya, Bhuvi, Hazelwood, Rasik The Salam, Suyash Sharma. So they all packed in a group, and which eventually helped them to clinch the second title. On the other hand, now let's talk about GT. We all know that GT is a great bowling team, and I think, according to me, after RCB, they were the best bowling attack. Why after RCB? Because if you see the bowling economy and bowling records of Gujarat in Ahmedabad versus the home venue which they played, yes, this is also the insights. Now you see why data is very much important. Everyone must be thinking that Gujarat is a very good top. It has the best bowling attack of the tournament. But according to me and what the data says, Gujarat is a pretty much good bowling attack in the Ahmedabad because the pitches, the ground, they supported them pretty much very well. So let's just look about the data. They took up some of 29 wickets with a bowling economy of 9.46, which is an excellent economy. They scored 594 total runs. Now I have brought something new for you. GT bowling economy, control versus attack. You can see the batting strike rate in Arun Jaitley Stadium. It was 169, and in the death overs, it was 160. I would say it is a good strike rate, but in a stadium like Arun Jaitley, where the pitch is flat and the ground is small, it is pretty much a good strike rate. Now, if you see in Narendra Modi, if you can see in Ekana Stadium, if you can see in the other stadium, Jaipur, Rajasthan, the strike rates are pretty much eventually getting down. If you can see some of batting strike and some of the death strike rate, you can see the numbers here. So I think that JTA is a very fantastic bowling unit with a good batting team, which are heavily reliable on the top three, and you could see in the final as well. Now we can see who contributed most in the bowling and batting. So you can see Rashid Khan, Washington Sundar with an economy of 9.12, Prasidh Krishna, Mohammad Siraj, Ashok Sharma and Rabada. And similarly in batting we have Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan, Josh Butler, Washington Sundar and Glenn Phillips. Now, my take on GT is that like GT were pretty much a top order team, which RCB used to have in their team like 2016 to 2020. They were pretty much reliable on Chris Gayle, Virat Kohli, and ABD Villas. We all know that. And same is the case study of GT. Yes, and GT are a bowling dominant team. They are packing the bowlers, but a right combination is very important to win the tournaments. You cannot just rely on one department to win the tournaments because on any given day, any department can have a worst day. So you cannot blame them like why you did not perform well on that day, especially on the big occasion. Now I would like to come to the matchup. You can see Virat Kohli versus Kaggle Rabada, which is the best batsman and best bowler of this season, according to me. Yeah, you may see Vaibhav Suryavanshi, you may talk about Shubman Gill. Vaibhav Suryavanshi is a different case study, and we will get to it on a different video. Virat Kohli has have smashed 84 runs against Kaggle Rabada with a healthy strike rate of 174. Can you imagine it? The best bowler of their team. So this is a particular very much pretty much good insight, like how Virat Kohli dominated the opposition's best bowler to put that team under pressure from the ball one. GT, according to me, was a very disciplined team. They come with a certain plan, and the execution was also pretty much nice. But since, as I say, with the right combination and with the right intent and with the right analysis and the right deep dive, RCB was the team. It was the team to beat this year's IPL season. Now, I would like to sum up this video for now, and I would just like to give you an overview what we have discussed so far. We discussed about the overview of an IPL of the first 24 matches, how the IPL, what was the tone of the IPL, what was the highest scoring venue, low scoring venue, the tosses and impact. Then we have Then we did team analysis in perspective of death overs, power play, middle overs. Then we gained deep dive into RCB and Gujarat. What were their weaknesses? What were their strengths? It's not like that RCB did not have any weakness. RCB's middle order was vulnerable, like Jitesh Sharma team, David Romero. They were not having the best of the season they could have. But still that team found out a way and they performed well under the current situation. So these were the points which stood RCB apart from the rest of the nine teams. On the other hand, GT was a well balanced, I would say not well balanced, but a well disciplined team who executed that targets pretty much well, and they had a good bowling attack and a top three strong batting order. So yeah, was the content of my first video. I hope you liked my video, you liked my insights. This is just the starting, guys. I know there will be some problems in it, and there will be some things which would like to recommend to me. I am open to all of your suggestions and the recommendations. Please do share, like, subscribe to my channel, and please, the most important thing is please share your responses and thoughts about my video. Like, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Okay, this is just the starting, guys. This video is just to give you an overview. What are we going to achieve? What am I trying to say? This is not in just an ordinary analytics video. There are certain channels, there are certain YouTube channels which are already doing pretty much well in this, but the domain is different. What I am trying to imply is that we should change the perception and we should see the cricket in the way it should. We would like to see that. क्रिकेट को हम लोग को क्रिकेट को देखने का नजरिया फिर कोई भी स्पोर्ट को देखने का नजरिया हमको थोड़ा अपग्रेड करना चाहिए so that we can get a particular insight from that. Now, I would like to share with you what are the future promises or what are the future videos which I would like to share with you. Now, since you can see that the team which understands the data, they win more. The teams that ignores it, they fall behind. And in CricAI, we will show you exactly how that works. Every week, we'll be sharing one video. And yes, one more important thing now, from every match of every Indian matches, I will try to cover every international match, and I will try to gain some insights from it, and I would like to share it with you. Now, what future videos I'm going to share with you? First of all, I would like to share a video that can AI actually predict IPL winners. So we will build a real prediction model using various machine learning algorithms, and with the help of tools of AI, we will collect 18 years of IPL data, and we will predict not some random guessing or some random, we can say, predictions. We will, with the help of data, we will try to predict, and we will create a model which will help us to get the winner of the next year IPL team. How AI is changing the selection of team, how bowlers are playing against, what are the auction strategies, and I will try to bring you the different aspects of the game, like what is the injury analysis, what is the analysis of the team, what is the strategy of team. We will try to look all that aspects in my upcoming videos. So yeah, that's it from my end, and please do share, like this my video. It will be very much helpful for me. Okay, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thank you.